Hey everyone, what if I told you that Congress acts slowly and that was part of the plan and on purpose? How's it going everybody? Welcome to Virtual History 360. I'm Mr. Wade and this is Flipping Civics. Starting with this unit, we're going into detail with the three branches of government. Hopefully from the title you figured out which one. But the question is why? Why would we talk about the legislative branch first? Well, that's easy. The legislative branch is outlined in Article 1 of the Constitution. Now, you can take your guess as to why Congress gets Article 1. I mean, it is important, but personally I bet it's because we already had a Congress under the Articles of Confederation, and the other two branches were new, so they started with what was familiar. Now, think about this though. Although it was familiar, there were still some big changes. Remember back to the convention and the Great Compromise? Now Congress was bicameral. That means there were two houses. Now you have the House of Representatives, where the number of representatives from each state was based on population. Every 10 years there's a census where the population is counted and the House seats are readjusted. Today, the number of members is capped at 435, and each member serves a 2-year term. Now, because of this relatively quick turnover, Congress as a whole has terms that last for just 2 years. They begin on January 3rd of each odd year. Currently, we are in the 115th Congress that started in 2017. Now, the other half of Congress is the Senate. Here, representation is equal, with each state having 2 senators. Members here serve for 6 years, with a third being up for election every 2 years, unlike the House where every member is up each cycle. Now, what do you say we hop in the jet and head to the Congress? Here we are, in New York City. Behind me is Federal Hall. This is where the first Congress met in 1789. Okay, I get it. This isn't where they meet today. So let's get back in the jet and head to Washington, D.C. A little comfortable, right? While we're traveling, though, I will use this time to talk about congressional leadership. Since we live in effectively a two-party system, we will talk about the majority party and the minority party. In both the House and the Senate, the party with the majority of members controls the room. The leader of the House of Representatives is called the Speaker of the House. Their job is to preside over the House and lead the party. They are also third in line to become president if something happens to both the president and the vice president. In the Senate, it is actually the vice president who's in charge. One big difference is that the leader of the Senate can only vote if there's a tie. When the VP can't attend, there's a temporary officer called the President Pro Tempore. Okay, now we're in Washington in front of Capitol Hill. The Capitol building behind me is where Congress meets today. Alright, where do we wrap this up? The last thing I want to talk about is the committee system. Because thousands of bills are proposed each year, a committee system has been established to make the workload more manageable. There are 3 types of committees. First, each House in Congress has standing committees that are permanent. They deal with issues such as agriculture, commerce, veterans affairs, stuff like that. Next, there are temporary committees that are formed just to address a specific issue, and they disband when the issue is resolved. And then finally, there are joint committees between the House and the Senate, and they deal with the big issues such as taxation. Now, serving on these committees, that's a great way to gain experience and help your constituents back at home. That is why newly elected representatives always try and join and build their experience like that. So I think that about covers the structure of Congress. We've covered, how it's made up of 2 houses. We talked about their leadership, and we've talked about the committees, how they actually work. What do you think? Not so bad, huh? Well, wait until we start digging deeper into how it all works as we go through this unit. Now, I hope videos like these help you in your civics class. I'm here to help you out. That's why I do this. Let me know in the comments if there are any topics you would like to see in future videos. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and hit like, and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to find out more, check out some of the other videos by clicking on the side here. For Virtual History 360, I'm Mr. Wade. Thank you.